For most of us, when we hear the name Joey Tempest, we think of the pop hit music band of the late 90s called Europe. For many years, thousands of people have loved and thoroughly enjoyed Europe's productions, but one day Joey revealed something to the public that changed it all. It was damage that appeared irreversible to many at that time. A loss that the music industry grieved for quite some time. So what happened to Joey's band Europe that disappointed the masses, and who is it to be blamed? Is it Joey or some of the other band members? Like many other bands, did Europe fall prey to internal conflicts, rivalries, jealousy issues, or money problems? Did the band members give up on it because they didn't feel like taking it further any longer, or was it something else altogether? It's time to find out the truth about Joey Tempest, the man who's famous for his musical genius and clashes with political parties. After Europe's infamous tour in 1992, the band decided that it would take a break from producing music together. None other but Joey Tempest himself broke this news to the public in a heartfelt message. Joey spoke about how after 10 years of living, recording, and touring together, the band had mutually decided that it would be best to take a break from working together. Because of this, Europe was even dropped from Epic Records. As you can probably imagine, a lot of hearts were broken that day. After all, the news was huge, something any fan would dread to hear from their favorite band. But to the relief of many, Joey also shared some good news towards the end, as he told his fans that Europe would no longer perform together, but he would still continue to record and produce his solo album. This wasn't only the case with Joey, but also with other members of the band like Noram and Marcelo, who also released solo albums. A lot of people who have enjoyed Europe's productions recognize the band for the legendary music it has created, but there are very few who know the true story behind the creation of this iconic band. In fact, I'm sure most of you don't even know much about the interesting way in which Joey got into music, what really inspired him to start the band Europe, and what made him finish it if he was the one to do so. There's a 50-50 chance, so just know I'm not giving away any spoilers. So for starters, let's have a look at how Europe was created. During his time in Europe, Joey wrote a bunch of international hits. One of the biggest ones was The Final Countdown, which topped the sales charts in 26 countries and sold a whopping 15 million copies. It was even played at the closing ceremonies of the 1987 Eurobasket and 1988 Summer Olympics. Plus, it became the musical theme of the Millennium celebrations. Can you believe that it even became a popular ringtone for hundreds of thousands of mobile phones worldwide? After The Final Countdown, Europe released two more awesome studio albums, Out of This World in 1988 and Prisoners in Paradise in 1991, before their final concert in March 1992. By 1995, Joey had released his first solo album, A Place to Call Home. He called it his singer-songwriter album. The album was produced by Dan Sundquist and recorded in Stockholm and London with Swedish musicians. It wasn't very surprising that A Place to Call Home did well and went platinum in Sweden and sold well internationally. Later that year, Joey started his first solo European tour. The following year, he was also nominated for a Best Swedish Artist Grammy. Next up, Joey released his second solo album, Azalea Place, in 1997. This particular album was recorded in Nashville with producer Richard Dodd, who was commonly known for his work with the Traveling Wilburys and Tom Petty. Unlike his first album, where Tempest wrote all the songs, this time he collaborated with others, including Chris Difford from Squeeze and Will Jennings. So right off the bat, we can tell that with this album, Joey was willing to switch things up a little bit and experiment, considering the fact that most of the songs he has were written in his studio by himself. In 2002, Joey released his third solo album, produced by Dead Mono and featuring collaborations with several artists, including Escobar, Lisa Miskovsky, and Staka Boo. The album was recorded in both London and Stockholm with sessions at Konk Studios and work with Swedish musicians. Based on all this, we know for a fact that Joey was nothing short of a seasoned professional who had a lot of support and was celebrated for his work, but we still don't know his origin story and what made him choose music as a profession. And this, ladies and gentlemen, calls for a story time. In some of his earlier interviews, the star shared that some music records truly fueled his journey in rock music back in the 1970s. Growing up just outside Stockholm, Joey found it easy to connect with fellow rock enthusiasts. The Swedish rock scene was booming, with international bands regularly stopping in Stockholm on their tours. For Joey and his friends in Upplands Väsby, a 40-minute train ride to the legendary Johanneshovs Ice Stadium, where rock fans and bands alike gathered, was a common ritual. Before concerts, Joey and his friends would hang out, have a few beers, and vibe to the music of the artist they were about to see. They got to see some of the biggest names in rock: Rainbow, Thin Lizzy, Whitesnake, Queen, Deep Purple, AC/DC, Black Sabbath, Scorpions, and many more. These hangout sessions with the friends eventually inspired Joey to start the band Europe. In his younger years before the creation Europe, Joey was into David Bowie, Mott the Hoople, and Elton John. He also got caught up in the pop-rock glam wave that swept through Scandinavia with bands like Slade, Sweet, and Mud. But the records Joey picked here had a deeper influence on him. They shaped his musical style and continued to inspire him long after his teenage years. After some time, Joey also started collecting vinyl again, a journey that helped him reconnect with the music that truly mattered to him. His vinyl collection may be small, maybe just 150 to 200 records, but these records made Joey Tempest who he is today. When we compare Joey with other popular music personalities, we can see a huge difference. Unlike the others, Joey's career transitions have been much smooth, and it also appears that he has tried to stay away from conflicts and clashes as much as he could. But even a nice person would be offended if their work was plagiarized and unrightfully used, and so is the case with Joey. It all started when the Conservative Party decided to use Joey's work without seeking his consent. Initially, Joey has made a passionate and polite plea to the Conservative Party to cease using his iconic song The Final Countdown for their campaign. The rock legend expressed his frustration and demanded the party to cease and desist from using his hit single, which he wrote back in 1986. Yet it was reported that the Conservative Party continued playing the song to rally campaigners at their headquarters, raising questions about whether the party intends to use the track as an anthem for the December 12th election or the new Brexit date. Understandably enough, the situation also sparked a lot of debate over the use of music in political campaigns. During this ordeal, Joey's manager also came forward and explained that the meaning of the song has nothing to do with Brexit and that it was just a sci-fi song about leaving Earth, written in 1986. Okay, so I saved some good news for the end. You know how I said Europe fell apart after a few wonderful years of working together? Well, that was true, but not entirely. After the break, Europe did have a pleasant surprise for their fans in the form of a band reunion, as many fans were eagerly waiting for them to start producing music together. After nearly 12 years of being apart and working solo, the band members came together and Europe became alive again. Interestingly, Europe announced this comeback with the same lineup that made The Final Countdown. After this, they worked tirelessly, releasing their 6th studio album, Start from the Dark, in 2004, the 7th one named Secret Society in 2006, and they kept producing killer pieces for their fans until 2017. So, what do you think? Was Europe's rebanding long overdue, or should it not have broken apart in the first place? You might even want to say that not everything is meant to last, and maybe that would be the case with Europe, and that's completely okay. Whatever it is, share your thoughts in the comments below.